Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1971 Winter Baseball Classic, continuing in the round of 3 of the tournament. Today we got a game down the Gulf, down south there. The Athens is visiting New Orleans. In the deep, dirty south here. We have, let's see how these teams got to this spot. So Athens, they got knocked out in the round of 7 by the number 1 seed South Carolina team, advanced in the losers bracket to get to this place. They come in as the 8th seed with a 5-4 record, and New Orleans is a 9 seed at a 6-6 record. New Orleans' path similar. They lost to Memphis in the round of 7, but they would take care of Tucson in the losers bracket. So similar paths, and just a half game separating the two squads in the tournament. So a best of 3 is all a team would need to advance in the tournament. So it is Athens gets home field, so game 1 was there. Let's take a look at that. Game 1, New Orleans sent Jim Lonborg. He's still not in the summer league yet. We expect him to be there in either of the years of 71 through 74, so this is an audition for him. He went up against Mike Cuellar. Typical Cuellar. Cuellar in this game would go 7 innings, giving up 5 hits and an unearned run. All that happened you needed to know about was the second inning when the Athens squad was really hitting well. Some nice hitters in this team. They batted around in the second inning, get 4 runs, and that's really all Cuellar needed. Final score is 8-4 in this one. It got sloppy at the end. We got some nice performances on the day by Matty Alou, 3 for 5. Lenny Randall, 3 for 4. He's trying to get into the league. He hasn't been in it yet. They got some nice batches. They got Sanguillen, Willie Crawford, Tommy Agee, Al Kaline in the middle of that lineup for Athens. Athens looks pretty complete. They got Cuellar, Pappas, and they got a nice bullpen. Fingers Rabowski, Tom Hall, Abernathy. One of the more complete teams is Athens. New Orleans has some nice starting pitchers. Mickey Lolich, Don Sutton, Rudy May. But they had Jim Lonborg on the mound in game 1. And that's probably why they lost. And their offense is kind of meh. Anyway. With this defeat, New Orleans has to come home to the Gumbo and win in the Voodoo City here of New Orleans. Athens at New Orleans. The Athens Red Clay against the New Orleans Sugar Magnolia in game number 88. Here we are in New Orleans. They built a baseball stadium just outside St. Louis Cemetery number 1 here. And that's where we're playing. Today's starting pitchers for Athens, their number 3 starter, Tony Cloninger, has been in the league in the summer. Was out, trying to get back in. 71, 3-6 with 3.90 ERA. And half a season for the Cincinnati Reds. That's not bad. And for the New Orleans team, the aforementioned Don Sutton has to pitch his team into the next game, if he can. 17-12 with a 2.55 ERA and 265 innings. What we know about Sutton, his 72 card is in the Summer League, so this is not an evaluation for him. We already have a better card in store. Let's get started today. From New Orleans, leading off for Athens will be Matty Alou. 35 is a base hit. He's a base stealer. And you have the zero arm of Haller. But you'll let Grabarkowitz swing away, or hopefully walk away. He has a nice bunch of walks on his card. 3-4 is, though, a 6-4-3 double play. That didn't work out. And Manny Sanguillen gets a single. 2 outs for Willie Crawford. 53 rolls back to Sutton. Bottom of 1, it'll be Carlos May. 4-4, straight off the Cloninger 4-4 card. Home run if you got power. Oh yeah, he's got it. That is gone. First pitch fastball up in the meat house, the wheelhouse. Come on, meat, throw that cheese up here, and that's exactly what happened. 1-0. Ron, I'm going to get you on a Swoboda China. That's second. 35's a walk. Ralph Garr, 67, pops to first. Davey Johnson, 2-4, is a 6-4-3 double play. Wow. Well, that ended quickly and abruptly. Top of 2, Tommy Agee, 1-4, skies to center. Al Kaline, 2-8, rolls to short. And Len Randall, 47, is a strikeout. Tom Haller in the bottom half, 58, strikes out. Aurelio Rodriguez, a.k.a. the original A-Rod, rolls to short. And Rich Reese, 6'11", left X. It's Willie Crawfish, a 3E5 and left, but that's going to be a single. Ken Berry, 1-5, the whiff. Let's go to the third inning. Tom Egan is your hitter, 48, skies to center field. Eddie Leon, 46, flies left. And Matialu, back up top here to him, 48, is a pop the third. So after a couple hits in the first inning, Sutton is Sutton. Bottom of the third, Tom Matic, 3-9, flies to center. Carlos May, 35, is a walk for the Beast Stealer with a 1-0 lead. Sanguine's got a -3 arm though, that's not something. And Swoboda, much like his number 2 counterpart in the other squad, Grabarkowitz, a lot of on base with walks. So let's leave the guy there and see if we can walk him the second. 64 off Cloninger is short X, so that didn't work. Leone at short's a 3E24. Better suited to play second base, but they get a ground ball B. Swoboda's at first for Ralph Garr. 210 rolls the first. Just one zip here in the fourth, briskly moving game. Billy Grabarkowitz, 45, rolls a second. If you're wondering about the cards, you'll see the cards at the end of the video. That's what I've been doing in the Winter Baseball Classic instead of interrupting the game. Get the game over sooner so you can see all 20 cards of the team who gets eliminated. By the way, Cloninger's got the 4-4 card, 4-4 homer to start the game. Sutton's got the 6-4 card. Manny Sanguine, 5'10". Catcher's card. Haller's a 3-16. That's a surprisingly high E rating, but he makes the play. And Willie Crawford, 59, short X. Their shortstop is Matic. He's a 4-48. He's not really a shortstop. He qualifies for the position, and that is a single. Tommy A.G., 6'11", first X. First baseman is Rich Reese. He's a 2E7. And he boots the ball. A surprising error. Back-to-back mistakes here defensively, and with 2 on and 2 outs, it's Al Kaline to make him pay. 69 off Sutton is not making him K. That's a strikeout. The brilliant Don Sutton. Excellent years in 71 and 72. And a bunch more after that. Bottom of the fourth, Davey Johnson. 3-6 is a walk. Tom Haller, 212 is a Lomax. A-Rod, 44. 4-4 card, and that's the problem with Cloninger. He pitches well until he gives up a home run, and that's gone. So a lefty and a righty of homers in this game off of Cloninger. His kryptonite. He's keeping the ball in the park. It's been decent otherwise. 2-0. Rich Reese. 1-4 is hit by the pitch. Oh, you don't like to see hit by a pitch after a home run, do you? And it gets a little tense here, but come on, guys. It's spring training. We're not going to brush them out in spring training. Ken Berry. 1/8's a walk. And Cloninger's starting to lose it a little bit here in the fourth. Tom Matic, 47. And that's going to hit the card as well. Single one to 12. He rolls a 5 and gets it. Loads the bases, and here's your batter for Cloninger trying to hang on here. In the bottom of the fourth of a 2-0 game, Carlos May with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here is the pitch. 2-8. Carlos May continues a perfect day. 2-8 is a clean single to left field. 1-run scores. Ken Berry's got wheels. 14, 15, 16 against the Crawford arm. He's thrown out on an 18. A huge break for Athens to stick around in this game. Ken Berry must have stumbled rounding third a little bit, and he got gunned down at the plate by the 0 arm of Willie Crawfish. That's only an RBI single. And a guy is thrown out on the bases. There we go. All right. 3-zip, top of the fifth. Len Randall, 45, rolls the second. Tom Egan, 58, strikes out. And Eddie Leone, 35, rolls to shortstop. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, bottom of the fifth inning. Ron Swoboda China leads it off. 2-12. Hit by the pitch. He's an E stealer. Not going anywhere. Ralph Garr, 47. Oh boy, Cloninger, single 1 to 12 again, but he misses it. He is grasping at straws, trying to get through 5. Davey Johnson, 46. Again, they're just denting this column. Triple 1 to 5. Single dot dot. They're on the corners now for Tom Haller. 68. It's a pop to short, and with 2 outs in a 3-0 game, if you can get out of this magic act, New Orleans could be regretting just a 3-run lead. A-Rod, 47 though, again, but it's double 1 to 4, fly ball the rest, and it's fly ball the rest. So Cloninger is really demonstrating some interesting, sure, he gives up the home run, gives up the walks. But he's got a double 1 fly ball, single 1 to 12 line out, double 1 to 4 fly out, and single 1 to 14 line out. So he does limit the amount of individual hits that could really destroy his card, and it's just a 3-0 game. Probably has put 12 men on base, I'm guessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12 men on in 5 innings. It's just free zip. 3 runs might as well be 30 runs against Don Sutton, though, the way he is cruising along. Top of the 6th, it's Matty Alou. 69, double 1 single. And Athens is a base runner. Grabarkowitz need to stay out of that double play. 48, center. Sanguian, 2-2, fouls the catcher, and with 2 outs, it's Willie Crawfish. 55 is a walk, and now, just like that, Tommy A.G. represents the tie run. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Sutton normally has trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark. But in 71 and 265 innings, he only gave up 10 home runs. That is amazing for Sutton. If you follow him, he usually has an automatic homer on 4 with a bunch of outs beneath it. But against righties, there is not a mention of a homer on the card whatsoever. And against lefties, it's just homer 1 to 2, fly ball the rest. So, you're going to have to find that juice on your own card, Tommy. Tommy A.G., 2 on, 2 outs, and the pitch. 2-12, rolls to shortstop. Sutton gets out of that. All right, Cloninger's a starter 6. He's made it this far. We'll let him pitch to the bottom half and see what happens after that. Rich Reese, 6'10", short. This is Leone, a 324. And that is an error. Ken Berry, 2-8, is a double to left field, and Rich Reese will hold at third. Gosh, we're trying to get to the bottom of this lineup at least. They'll bring it up second and third. 54 is center X, but you got AG's a 2E8 in center field. And that's a sac fly. All right, now that we top it off, I think as the hitters improve, we are going to go to the pen here. After 5 and a third, we're going to pull Cloninger. And they're going to go give Tom Hall a look here in the 6th. Athens still has aspirations of coming back and winning this game and sweeping the series, so they're going to try and get a better pitcher in there. Tom Hall coming out of the bullpen, 71. He was a twin. 4.7, 3.32 ERA, and 130 innings. Tom Hall. All right, Carlos May with a runner at second and 1 out. The pitch to Carlos May. 55, oh boy, now he found his homer column. Homer, 1 to 12, double the rest. It's a homer if you got power, but Carlos May doesn't have it against lefties in the year of 71. He had 7 homers and 562 plate appearances. They did not give him power. So that is a single that will score a run. And Cloninger certainly doesn't appreciate the increase to his ERA there. Runner at first, 1 out for Swoboda China. I'm gonna get you on a Swoboda China. You really need to have Lucy or Desi Arnaz sing that one. They would do a much better job than me. 69, short X. 324 again. Busy day for Leone in the field. And this is a double play ball, and that's the inning. 5-0 should be plenty, you would think, for Don Sutton, the way he has been cruising along. It's Al Kaline. 2-3, grounds a third. Len Randall, 55 is a walk. E. Steeler, which is weird. Tom Egan, 310 is a walk. And now Sutton's finally up against it a little bit. Eddie Leone, he's a starter 7. So a chance to break him right here and find something better out of the bullpen to hit off of. Eddie Leone, 47 is a strikeout. And here we go with your game here. Matty Alou, been on 2 out of 3 times. Really could use an on base here out of Matty. The pitch. 1-8 is a grounder to first, and Mr. Sutton does it again, folks. Put 4 men on the last couple innings, but it's no big deal. He gets out of it. Stretch time. In New Orleans, in the bottom of the 7th, we are enjoying Mr. Dr. John. They call him the Night Tripper. Gree 1968 LP. I welcome Gilded Splinters and all that wonderful stuff. Mama Roo and all the wonderful stuff from Dr. John cooking up that famous gumbo in the deep, dirty South. All right, back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. Tom Hall will continue. And if he goes just an inning and 2/3, he would be available for a little bit of game 3, if there is one. Ralph Garr. It's a strikeout. Davey Johnson. Second X. Randall's still out there, and he's not good. He's a 40-34. He makes the play. And Haller, he'll bet against the lefty who gives up home runs because he hits him, and he strikes out. As an E16 catcher, he will leave, though, for Jack Hyatt. This is a weird defensive change, but we'll do it. We're also going to get Larry Brown in this game to play shortstop for Matt Chick. And you know what? We might as well get a better defensive outfielder in there. We're going to get Don Money, who can play left field better than Ralph Garr can, which says a lot. We'll take Carlos out. Yeah. All right. Garr goes to DH. All right. 5-0 into the 8th. Sutton can break with a couple base runners here. It'll be Billy Grabarkowitz. 2-7 is a walk. Manny Sanguillen. 2-6 is a single dot, and I think this is about the time you go, it's 5-zip. We should be able to finish this thing off. Get 6 more outs. So Sutton, as he breaks, will actually come out of this game. If it was a Major League Baseball playoff World Series game, I might let him stick around because he's Sutton, but I don't really glean anything here from leaving this dude in the game. I'd like to see other players participate so I can measure how good or bad they are. So in the New Orleans bullpen, Hargan's pretty bad, but Klimkowski, Morris, and Aker are all pretty good. Klimkowski's a setup guy. Both sides look great. Morris is a lefty who gets the lefties out. Aker's a standard closer type. So we'll go with Crawford coming up in this inning. As soon as you bring in the lefty, though, they'll go straight to George Foster, and you have 3 righties. So I think they'll go Klimkowski. They're going to go Ron Klimkowski with a 5-0 lead. They're not super impressed with Athens at this point. He'll come on in the 8th inning, and he'll face Willie Crawford with first and second and nobody out. The pitch to Willie Crawford. 57 is a walk. The worst thing you could do. Give him a free pass when you're up by 5 runs. So now you got AG with the bases loaded, nobody out. Playing back, looking for a double play. 1-7's a strikeout. Now you got Al Kaline. The pitch to Al. 2-6 is single, 1-14, and he gets it on a 12. So there goes your shutout, but it's a 5-1 game. And now suddenly Athens can send the tie run to the plate. It's Len Randall, who's better than anything on the bench at this point. Klimkowski doesn't give up homers to lefties. They're playing back. They want a double play with 1 out. Here's the pitch to Len Randall. 55 is second X. This is Davey Johnson, a 2E14 second baseman. This should be a double play, and it is. A 2 second baseman. Turns the twin killing there. Whew, gets out of that mess. Stays 5-1. All right. In the 8th inning, we're going to have Ted Abernathy come in. Get a look, just to get more work in for all the players. Abernathy he was an interesting puzzle piece in the offseason. He was involved in the Reggie Smith deal that sent him from the Red Sox to the Cardinals. Red Sox are happy with Abernathy, they believe. We'll find out. He will come on in and face Jack Hyatt to lead off the bottom of the... Actually, he'll face A-Rod to lead off the bottom of the 8th. A-Rod grounds to third. Rich Reese, 54, flies left. And Ken Berry, 38, pops to second base. We go to the 9th inning. I gotta bring in the lefty now. We'll do that. We'll go with John Morris to start the 9th, and if he runs into trouble, just switch to our closer, Jack Aker. So here's John Morris in the 9th. Tom Egan hits lefties and righties about the same. He'll swing away. 2-4 hits the card. He's got the 2-4 card. And you know what? This Tom Egan's got plenty of pop, folks. He's got the homers on 2-3 and a 16 on 4 against lefties and a 15 against righties. 10 homers and 251 at bats. That is gone, and it's 5-2. Well, way to greet these relievers here. Eddie Leone, 2-5, pops to first. Matty Alou, we'll get him out of there. He's not that good against lefties in this particular iteration. Batting for him will be Billy Cohen. 37 for Cohen is a strikeout, and with 2 outs, it's Grabarkowitz. 53 rolls it to first, but Rich Reese is a 2E7 at first base. 2E7. That is a GBA to end the game. And New Orleans salvages a split of the first 2. We'll have a rubber match. Competitive game 3. Loser goes home. And I will play that off screen and give you an elimination video of that team at the end of this video. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. Let's do the tournament box for both squads as we're 88 games in. Morris, we give him a save, give up a solo home run and a strikeout. Klimkowski came in, a walk and a K, hit a walk and a K, inherited run charge to Sutton, gets the win though, loses a shutout, incomplete game. 7 innings for Sutton, 5 hits and a run, he'll take it. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Abernathy was fine in relief, so was Tom Hall. A hit and 2 strikeouts. Good relief pitching. Just Cloninger just made too many mistakes in this one. Stuck around for a very long time. Is charged for the 5 runs. We do have an unearned run in here. Unearned. Yeah. Okay. 6 walks and 2 strikeouts. 1019 0108 5827 5827 5664 6456. That is game number 2. And the series will go back to lovely Athens for a game 3. These teams are very competitive in this tournament. That's what you're looking for. Makes it so much more fun. Playing blowouts is not a lot of fun, folks. So I try and set up all my leagues with as much competitive as possible. I'm not interested in the Hall of Fame, you know, the Bronx Murderers Row and all that sort of stuff. Never really into seeing if a team could win like 120 games or something like that, something ridiculous. I like competition, and I got it. So New Orleans has split 14 tournament games, still breathing. Hitting 265 in the tournament, a 387 ERA. Both of those are very respectable. Jack Aker's got 3 saves. Sutton's 3-0. 3 earned runs in 30 innings. That'll do it every time. Doing typical Sutton stuff. But Mickey Lolich is just 2-2 with the ERA of 450. He's not been doing it, getting a job done. Nice tournament for Ralph Garr. Like 25 for 56 for Ralph. The guy would hit 340, 350 in 74, something like that. So, yeah. The 74 Ralph Garr card will be in the league, so we don't need this one. But I think he wins the batting title. So that's your New Orleans squad doing very well. And let's take a look at Athens. Again, they're just a half game better at this point, I believe. Yeah, they're 6-5. Hitting 311 with a 4.42 ERA. Again, Cuellar's 3-1. Cloninger's 1-2 in this tournament. Has given up 13 runs in 18 innings, so he's not really impressing. Got to be concerned with that. You walk guys and you give up homer. If you do both, you're in for some trouble. I can deal with one or the other, but when you combine that, it makes for a mess. Tom Egan's got 3 home runs to lead the squad. He's 15 for 42 in the tournament. Having a good old time is old Tom Egan there. Al Kaline's 16 for 40. Bunch of balance on this team, so the lineup seems to be pretty sound. They just ran into the Sutton buzzsaw, as predictable. So let's give you who's going to be pitching in Game 3. Give you that before we exit this portion of the video. The rubber match. Athens, Cuellar, Cloninger, a day off, then a bus ride back to Athens, Georgia. The Athens squad will send Milt Pappas to the mound. This will be a fun game. In New Orleans, it's either Lolich or Rudy May here. It'll be Mickey Lolich. Mickey Lolich, Milt Pappas for a classic Game 3. Two great towns, Athens, Georgia, and New Orleans, Louisiana. Trying to advance in the Winter Baseball Classic. We'll have the elimination of one of those teams coming up. We'll see you soon. Well, baseball fans, it turns out that was a nice 3-game series, but Athens and the home team won all 3 games to the home team. Athens gets the rubber match home field advantage. They win at 9-3. They knock Mickey Lolich around. Milt Pappas gets the win. Lolich here, 6 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs. Not a good look for him, but that's okay. We got a different Lolich card in our summer league anyway, a better one. Milt Pappas is, this is a 20-win, no, not, I'm thinking of Pat Dobson, never mind. But Milt Pappas, a good card in 71, but in 72 it's even better. There was a no-no for the Cubs. Could have been a perfect game. But in this particular instance, 7 2/3, 9 hits, 3 runs. Too many sticks on Athens. That is the theme throughout the series. Only Sutton slowed them down momentarily. So with that, we have to do the elimination of New Orleans. And now we look at the New Orleans stats right here. And don't blame Ralph Garr, folks. For a guy who didn't even need to play in this tournament because he already have his 72 card and might upgrade to a 74 card. Old 71 Ralph Garr got 27 hits in 15 games. He's your tournament MVP if you could continue, but you're already knocked out halfway through the tournament, so I doubt he will be. He only hit 450 with a 500 on base. So yeah, he's ready to go. He's swinging out of the gates. He's all lubed up and ready to go. Ralph Garr is crushing it. Rich Reese, surprising keeper of a team, though his bat's not good, but he showed up with a 412 performance here and a slick glove at first base. Swoboda, 16 walks. That's what we want to see. 507 on base. I think the Swoboda China is going to land in the summer league somewhere. Really do. Jack Hyatt, a catcher with on base. He'll get in the league. So, a lot of nice performances here by a team that went 7-8. You look at the pitching. Sutton is absolutely brilliant. But other guys had to pitch. And Mickey Lolich was awful. A 5.45 ERA. He was the ace and always pitched on 3 days rest, which means he pitched 5 of the 15 games and was 2-3. And so, yeah, that's a shame there. Maybe they should have made Sutton the ace and Lolich the number 2 guy. If they had done that, and Sutton would have had the 5 starts, we could have been telling a different story. But it didn't happen that way. So this team lost because of that. Lomborg, lost his 3 starts. So, yeah, problematic for this pitching staff. Klimkowski, keeper, did a nice job in the pen. Aker, the closer, got 3 saves. It was okay. Let's now take a look at the 1971 stats for this group. And again, we go through the standard. The yellow are your waivered players. Larry Brown, Ron Swoboda, Steve Hargan, John Morris. These are the guys on waivers looking for a new team. Then you have the keepers, denoted in the 4th column there of who's keeping him, who's keeping who. Tom Haller, Jack Hyatt, Davey Johnson, Don Money, Rich Reese, Original A-Rod, Jack Aker, Ron Klimkowski. Then you have the green guys who have a future card that's already in the Summer League. This is just because I needed roster spots to fill, guys to play, participate, and to see if maybe they have a better card in 71 than we already have in 72 or 3. Ken Berry, the answer is no. Ralph Garr would seem to suggest use my 71 card because I hit 343, guys. Hey, I hit 343 in 71. And we're saying, okay, we get it, Ralph, but you're hitting 354 and 74. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Dude had 219 hits. So, yeah. Carlos May has a better card in 72. He and Dick Allen are just a wild tandem for that White Sox team. And then Lolich, Sutton, and May have better future cards. The last color coordination, the white shaded, are your undrafted free agents, of which there were just 2. Strat-O-Matic was once in the league 2 years ago, missed it. Mostly a corner, left-handed hitting infielder, not much there. And Jim Lomborg, who is still not in the league, surprisingly, as he has a late career rejuvenation in the early 70s with the Phillies. Now let's take a look at these cards. So here we are with the New Orleans team. We'll show you all the cards and considerations if they do indeed make it into the Summer League. So we start with Larry Brown. He would simply be a shortstop, or actually a second and third baseman against lefties. And, you know, maybe. We'll see about that. There's a lot of guys vying for that type of spot. Here's the Swoboda card. We really like all these walks. Love getting walks on 5, 6, and 7 in a 3-column, both sides. 3 outfielder with 0 arm, power against lefties. He's getting in the league. Love the card. Love on base and Strat-O-Matic. And we just showed he had a 500 on base in a little tournament. Now, Steve Hargan was kindly put on waivers because Strat-O-Matic makes the card. If you make a card, I permit you to be on waivers instead of retirement. It's not a very good card for Hargan. He does have a comeback of sorts, I think in 73 or 74 with Texas, but this is not a very good card at all with Cleveland, which is a real shame because in 1970 Hargan was very, very good, but in 71 it all came apart for him. He'll have to wait till 74 with Texas, see if we get that card in the league. And lastly, John Morris. We got a lefty setup guy on waivers, folks, and you know what? Boy, he will be sought after on waivers, probably one of the first claims. You get a lefty who gets lefties out of the bullpen? I know he's not good against righties, but that's all you want. A lefty who gets lefties out. Morris, a Brewer, 2.2, 371. So, I've had much worse lefties get into the league. All right, now your keepers. The Dodgers are keeping Tom Haller, a left-handed hitting catcher, a precursor to Mike Scioscia, I guess. Look at the power against lefties as a left-handed hitting catcher. Nice. So the Dodgers will probably take this version of Haller. It's probably his last good year. Jack Hyatt. He's a Colorado Rocky. Yeah, look at all those walks. On-base machine. Always drew tons of walks with the Giants. He's with the Astros here, but he started with the Giants, or was with the Giants in '69. 276 with 35 walks, 174 at-bats. This card gets picked up probably by the Rockies. Davey Johnson got traded to Atlanta in the offseason. Fantastic card, but folks, the reason he got traded is so that they can pick the 73 card where he hits 43 home runs. This is a very nice card, but he hits 18. I mean, come on, guys. You're not gonna turn down an additional 25 home runs, are you? Don Money, property of also Colorado, and this is not a good look for him. In this timeline, he will eventually become a 1 at third base, and his batting average and power will improve. So this card is to be avoided at all costs. There's much better Don Money coming in the future. Rich Reese did very well in this tournament. He's got the good glove at first base. He's okay as a halfway player. You ignore all this. You look at that high percentage, 24%. So that dictated a lot of this low batting average. 219. I like that. You know, with this kind of card, you want a high number there, which means that he's actually pretty decent over here. And look at the home runs. And you like to hit that single on a 5, wouldn't you? If you hit that every time, you'd like this guy. It brings him up to like a 265 hitter instead of a 219 hitter. But as a defensive platoon first baseman, you want a right-handed hitting moose to platoon with, a guy who can't really field ground balls very well, but he swings right-handed to platoon with this guy. A-Rod is a keeper of Vegas, and it's all about defense. They also picked up Wes Parker in the offseason. They also picked up Ed Brinkman in the offseason. They're going to go for ones in their infield, Las Vegas. It's a new strategy we're going to try out for an expansion team. Against righties, this card is good. Against lefties, it is not. Has power versus righties. About the same, a little bit better against righties. Jack Aker was acquired by the White Sox to help up a bad White Sox bullpen. Very good card. They got a choice, 71 or 72 for Aker. I like the no home runs here. Don't mind the doubles, really. It's okay. I prefer neither. That's a lot of hits, but still good enough to get out of some jams. The 257 ERA may be a little optimistic here in the summer league, as he does put guys on base. He's certainly not a lights out closer, but he's good enough to close games out for the White Sox, his new team. Klimkowski, picked up by Colorado. A lot of Colorado players. The Rockies were following this tournament, and this is a nice little reliever. No homers against lefties there, as you can see. You don't like the homers against righties, but you got a double 1 to 6 out and a GBX, second X on 8. So, nice Klimkowski card. I think this is his last chance with this card. Then you have your carry-on guys. Ken Berry, we already have him hitting 294 in a future year. We don't like this one. It's only hitting 221. Here's Ralph Garr, and what a tournament he had. Yeah, of course. Look at this card, man. It's just, he's raking the ball. AAB 1 to 17, 219 hits, 343, 343. You know, you get it. So you could move to this card if you want. I mean, Atlanta is got a monstrous offense. It is frightening. It is the Frankenstein monster of Strat-O-Matic offense. You got a bunch of guys with 40 home runs: Hank Aaron, Darrell Evans. Now they got Davey Johnson. You got a bunch of 300 hitters, and they are going to scare the dickens out of the National League. So, after this Garr performance, the National League is hoping Garr left all his hits in the WBC tournament and starts off the year hitting 218 for a month or two. Carlos May is a better year with Dick Allen 72. He doesn't have his buddy here yet as a White Sox, and it shows. He needs some protection behind him. And this is the Lolich card that got knocked around. And, oh yeah, he gets his lefties out, but 15%. We have his future card in the league, even though it's not a starter 9. Sutton, we have his 72 card in the league as well. But even though that 72 card is so brilliant, how about this atypical? Look at the lack of home runs here. For Sutton, that's fantastic. It's more hits than usual. No walks, of course. But this is a darn good Sutton card. If the 72 card didn't exist, this would be one of the top cards for him. I mean, him and Seaver for this timeline are really close as being the best pitcher in the league during, 71, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to, Seaver gets the love and the wins and the Cy Youngs and so forth, but Sutton really comes close. The out there is nice. The out there is nice against lefties. Rudy May is on the Ohio expansion team with a future card here. I don't like the 6.5 template. That means he was the 7th best ERA on that squad, and that squad was the California Angels with a 3.03 ERA. My goodness, folks. The California Angels could pitch in the year of 1971 if this is your 7th best ERA on your team. I'm going to have to look at this team on Baseball Reference, 71 Angels. They must have had absolutely no hitting whatsoever to just be invisible. Okay, and now you got your 2 undrafted free agents trying to get back in the league, and this is their last chance with a 71 card. Then we'll have to say goodbye to these cards forever. Tom Matchik, his best attribute is he bats left-handed. He's a 3 at third base. It does not have power. He's a C-stealer. It's not good. No, it's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. I think you can find better. I mean, if you're really bent on getting a left-handed bat to play third base, you get him. But you're getting one of the worst left-handed hitting third basemen we have. So, and here's Lonborg. And again, he's still just okay here. And we expect big things out of Lonborg as he will help the Phillies turn that franchise around, joining Mike Schmidt and company as they turn into a 1970s terror. Here he's still a Red Sox, 10-7 with a 4.13 ERA with the Red Sox. I think he's got a stint with the Brewers and a stint with the Phillies coming. But
as his best attribute might be a starter 7 and okay against righties, but pretty sure a better Jim Lombard card will exist, and so this one will not be taken. So that is the complete conclusion of what the New Orleans, I want to say the Saints, with a fleur-de-lis here, but the Sugar Magnolia. New Orleans, they fought valiantly in the tournament. They lose to Athens, and that's about it. We'll see you for the next game.